So what inspires you or gives you relief from life? Is there certain books or art or movies? Like what takes you to that place?
Well, I don't think people understand, but I've always been under a tremendous amount of stress because I've been through a shipwreck, I've been through a car accident, I've had like everything taken from me, and
So
it's
what fills that void for you then?
um art for a lot of things. I mean, whether I'm doing dresses or I'm doing like an art piece or I'm writing a book review or a music review or I'm working on my book. I mean, it sort of takes me away from everything else that's happening. And sometimes it's just easier to focus on something beyond like what's happening every day, because I mean, what happens every day for me is not always pleasant.
So do you
So,
think it's healthy to have some occasional escapist kind of art or enjoyment like that?
yeah, yeah, I think it's good if you do that, because if you don't have something to escape to, and sometimes you can like I don't know, almost destroy yourself if you just internalize everything that happens. So, I like the fact that, I can go away from the world for a little while.
What are like the fantasy genres you like? Like do you like the oh, what is that? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or do you like more traditional fairy tales?
Um, I think I was always kind of inspired by like the Dark Crystal and the Labyrinth, and just really kind of early like 80s
Mm-hmm.
kind of fantasy. And oh, and I love like
Ah.
Legend too. It's just
Do you think those inspire your work? Like, what elements of those things do you think show up in your work?
well, the fairies for one thing. I mean, fairies and the Celtic art, and the twists, the turns, and that it has a bit of that flavor where it's more fantasy. It's more almost dreamlike. I like that.
Could you ever see your artwork being part of like a storybook?
Yeah, I think I could probably do that. It might be difficult to do because it's on wood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I could do the same thing and then do it on paper, that might be good. But
Would you ever consider just doing your watercolors on traditional art paper?
yeah, I could do that. You don't get as much of a feeling because, when you're burning it on wood, I mean, you get the grain of the wood and you get the depth. I mean, the thing about my art is it's interactive. You can touch it and you can feel it. I mean, it has a feeling to it.
Mm-hmm.
So